welcome to this chat view with Brett Vallance and the English sisters.
Hello, Brett.
Hello, English sisters.
Hello.
It's so lovely to talk to you after meeting in London.
Yeah, so I was happy that I met you, and it was a nice evening with my friend Sarah.
Yes, it was.
Lovely.
It was lovely.
And who's this in the picture? You've got a beautiful little cat.
This is my little moggy, Orphy,
Oh,
and he's completely white.
he's
And
adorable.
I've got red on today. I couldn't wear clothes like yours right now, covered in white fur.
Ah.
Oh, that's like our dog. My dog,
Yeah.
Teddy, he's completely white as well. And I mean, even when we go to London, there's always a little one of Teddy's hair somewhere.
That comes with us, yeah.
Either on your copulate or me.
It travels, doesn't it? It travels, a little piece of
Quite
fur.
cute, because you say, oh, look, there he is.
Oh, he's adorable. He just loves the massaging. Oh.
He's got blue eyes.
Yeah, like greeny eyes, cat's eyes,
Yeah.
lovely. They're so relaxed.
Aw.
Oh, I could just stare at him all day. He's adorable. But let's talk about what you're into, Brett, because we know it's really interesting.
Yeah.
You're into you actually organise events that are about non-duality, don't you? In London, is that right? Yeah.
Yeah, he's got to cuddle a bit.
Yeah,
But yeah, I'm not a teacher and not a
No.
spiritual teacher.
No.
But I have been organising something called Non-Duality London the last few years.
Mm.
And I've had help to do that with a friend, Marion.
Mm-hmm.
And it started off as social events, and now we've mixed to talks and socials. And I was on a big spiritual search myself
Right.
a number of years, but a lot of it didn't really sit right with me.
Mm.
I couldn't pick why, but I just felt there was a lot of contradictions. And then I found out about Eckhart Tolle, and then through that I found out about contemporary non-duality. One of the teachers or expressions of non-duality that I found out about was called Jeff Foster.
Yeah.
He talked about that home is already here, and what you are searching for, you already are. And that's something that really resonated
Mm.
with me. And so I went exploring this further, and then through that I wanted to meet other people myself and get people together. So I organised social events, people interested in non-duality, and then I wanted to bring speakers together for people to see in a more informal setting.
Well, that's nice. Yeah.
And so that's what's evolved.
Wow.
Wow.
So this all evolved through your own spiritual journey, because you were looking for something which you found that you didn't have to look for in the end because you already had it.
Yeah.
That's right. And when I read your book,
Mm.
I thought there was a lot of similar themes
Yeah.
within it, because one thing that they talk about in non-duality is that it all happens by itself.
Yeah.
And a lot of the suffering is caused by control.
Mm.
And it's usually control because we're not happy with the present moment, and we have some kind of mantra in our head, like never enough. This is I'm never enough. They're enough, but I need to be like them.
Right.
You know, that teacher's enlightened. They got a higher vibration than me. I need to get onto that vibration. Maybe not this lifetime, but another lifetime.
Mm.
And so it's just resting into what you already are. We don't need to fix anything. If there's a technique to it, there's different practices that people practice to see this, but I'm interested in just being exactly as you are in every moment and seeing what it unfolds. from that. You don't know what's going to unfold. And it might come from you wanting to be an LP therapist or any other kind of therapist. And that's perfect as it is, because that's how your expression unfolds. So I was interested in how your book talked about that as well, especially, I think there was a story of was it a beetle?
Yeah.
That for a long time.
Yeah.
So I think there's a lot of similarities within non-duality, and also, I'm not sure if it's hypnotherapy, but it definitely comes out through.
Well, I think,
definitely, yes. Well,
I think, well, we were really surprised when you said that our book, Entrancing Chance for Change, was like, had this non-duality in it, because we had no idea. We'd never heard of non-duality.
No.
Until you told us about it. So it was a real surprise to us. But I think what the non-duality aspect of does come from hypnosis, where basically, Ericksonian hypnosis, basically we have all resources within us
already,
and we don't need anything else. So if you just let yourself be, you will be happy.
Yeah, basically.
And at one with yourself.
And it's also about not comparing to others, like what you were saying before. I mean, if you say I'm not fantastic because I'm comparing myself to somebody else. If you don't compare yourself to anything but who you are now, not the person you were before when you were like 15 or 20, just to the person you are now, then how can you not be perfect? So we see a lot of ladies that say, I'm not happy with my body. Who are you comparing your body to? And they say, no, it's like when I was 20, I was beautiful, I had eyes. So you're comparing yourself to somebody who no longer exists. That person isn't here anymore. What about if you just say who you are now? What do you think you look like for somebody who's 50 or 55? What would you say about that if you had no comparison to anything else at all? And then they usually say, well, I'm not bad actually if I don't compare myself to anything. So I think maybe that's a little bit about non-duality there as well, because we use that a lot.
Have no comparison whatsoever. I mean, you wouldn't even care what you look like.
Well, you're not comparing yourself to who you were before as a younger version of you.
Anybody, if you didn't compare yourself to other people either, you wouldn't care. I mean,
you'll be like
the
cat there, and like the animals. You'll be in that state. You'll be in the present. That's what they do. That's what other mammals do. That's the beauty of it, really.
Yeah, they don't compare themselves.
They don't compare themselves. I mean, there you have the wonderful little cat. Do you think he's comparing himself to the next door neighbour's cat? No, he's enjoying this conversation.
I mean, he probably is more beautiful than the next door neighbour's cat, but he doesn't care.
He doesn't care, does he? He's no problems. Look at him. He's just there. Oh, he's like adorable. He's happy. He's happy. He's got his little owner there. He's having cuddles. He's happy now. He's not thinking about what's going to happen in an hour's time or in 2 hours' time. I think that's it. That really is it, isn't it? And whether it's called non-duality or not, I mean, it's pretty essential to living a happy life, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. So this has helped you a lot then, Brett. Yes,
I mean, it's also looking at yourself and the world in a much wider perspective. So instead of thinking of a separate person,
right,
that somehow you're you where you are now and somehow you need to improve or you need to be fixed, you're broken. It's looking at oneness and a more wider perspective, and then what you are is a complete, perfect expression. There's one teacher who we managed to bring out last year called Daryl Bailey, and he talks about when you go into a forest, you don't look at the trees and say how magnificent they are, but then you'd say. You would look at the trees and you'd say how fabulous and how magnificent they are, but you wouldn't look at the shrubs below and say, look, you're not tall enough. You should be like that. tree.
No.
But somehow we look in the mirror and we say, you're not enough.
Yeah.
Or we're in the shopping centre queue and that one's too tall and that one shouldn't be wearing that. But we don't look
judge,
and feel the same. He says something funny. He says a squirrel will not think that they're not squirreling. but somehow we think we're not part of this magnificence.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a shame, isn't it?
That is a shame, yeah. It is a
And
shame.
it does cause a lot of unhappiness.
It does, yeah. There's been like a division between like us and nature, and we're not really sort of completely aware yet that we are nature. We are part of it. We are part of the whole of everything, really. So people say, I love nature, but then they do not love themselves. Is that really possible? Not really. If you love nature, then you by consequence have to love yourself, don't you? They're not really aware of it. They cause it a division.
Nature.
We are nature.
We've become maybe a bit too distanced from what we really are and from our
Perhaps,
roots.
yeah, perhaps.
And a bit too, we've become too
distant.
Too distant.
Well, perhaps it was, ever since we started wearing shoes and things, we sort of stopped.
I mean, birds do a lot to make themselves look attractive, don't they? There's those birds that even pick out little things.
Oh, yeah.
So, I mean, making yourself look attractive is part of nature, I think.
It is, indeed.
Animals do little things like they ruffle up their feathers to look good.
Yeah. Oh.
But I think it's when it's taken to the extreme and when you think you're not good enough when you really are.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that shrub thing is very good because it really is very quick and it really does make you realise about
and even
that
weeds.
You don't judge.
But what about weeds? They're beautiful in their own way.
Well, people love
They feed.
daisies, don't they? Daisies are wonderful little weeds. They're so resilient. Well, we're highly fascinated by daisies because whenever we started realising that when you stepped on a daisy, then after a few seconds it'll just pop back up like that. We thought, wow, I mean, a whole human body can step on a tiny little flower like that. And the daisy has the resilience and the flexibility to just pop back up again. Then it just smiles again. It looks up, tries to look for the sunshine. I mean, wow, that's just a little weed. Who's judging that weed? I mean, it's very interesting. This whole thing is very interesting, isn't it?
It is.
Oh, look, he's stretching out. Morning stretch.
Yeah, more stretching,
More
say.
stretching.
More stretching
yeah.
of the mind as well and just being.
Absolutely. So when is the next non-duality event going to be taking place?
Well, I mean, there's lots of non-duality events in London and all throughout the world. But we organise events usually once a month, but there's quite a few coming up at the moment. The next one is a woman from Canada. Her name is Canella.
Canella, what a lovely name.
Yeah,
wow.
And that's this weekend. And she'll be this Friday and also Saturday and Sunday. And one thing she expresses is our resistance of the present moment. So she's very helpful with people to look at how they're resisting and taking them right back to what is actually here. And that could include pain and suffering.
Right.
So self-hatred, all these things that we're rejecting about ourselves. So that's something that she'll be doing this weekend.
Right.
And
brilliant.
Looking forward to coming from Canada to do this.
Wow.
Wow, that's brilliant. Well, London.
Yeah.
I mean, people come to London, don't they?
They do.
And looking forward to meeting her as well.
Yeah, that'd be exciting. It is. It's really, I mean, the whole idea of just accepting The present is
Well, if you're living in the moment, if your mind isn't running away with itself, and if you actually stop and you say, okay, clear all my thoughts, what is going on right now?
now. How am I
I mean,
feeling right
if you
now?
weren't thinking about other things,
Or about the past or the future.
The pain and the suffering would disappear.
It would.
Wouldn't it? Because pain is imaginary and so is suffering.
Yeah.
It's something
Because
that our brain
something that happened.
creates.
It's
I mean, even we were talking to Barbara Sepp, who's a very famous hypnotherapist and speaker, and she does courses. And her late partner, Dave Dobson, he used to do a lot of pain alleviation, but physical pain.
yeah.
And he would be able, imagine this, he'd be able to get burns patients that would be screaming
With pain.
because they had to have like a skin strip or something, which is horrifying.
Mm-hmm.
He would be able to actually get them to go and get this done and look forward to it and not feel any pain whatsoever. So if you can think what our brains are capable of producing, we do it all by ourselves. If we're in pain, it's because we're producing the pain on some level. And pain is also a warning to take, to make you take action. So if you are in pain, say, hey,
Stop
what's going on? Take care of me, kind of thing.
Yeah.
So yes.
It's going to be interesting.
It's going to be great.
It's going to be great, yeah, for everybody, sure.
Isn't it?
I want to mention about pain.
Yeah.
Some people try to get rid of pain and do lots of different techniques, and the pain's still there.
Yeah.
It does change.
Changes, yeah.
It's not constant, but it may be very, very painful. And what non-duality can talk about, and the expressions of non-duality can talk about, is it's not rejecting pain. So somehow we think that pain is wrong.
Yeah.
It's resting in the pain, allowing the pain to be as it is.
Accepting, basically. Yeah.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah. Brilliant. Wow, well, it's very, very interesting on lots of different levels, isn't it?
Fascinating.
We're fascinated, yeah, very fascinated. It's been great talking to you, Brett, and watching your, there he goes.
Time to
The
go.
cat's gone, yes.
It's going to its little...
Well, it's been wonderful chatting to you, Brett. Great. And we'll catch up soon, then, won't we?
Catch up soon, and we look forward to hearing a lot more from you in
Yeah.
Non-Duality London.
Absolutely.
And hope to see you doing some things yourself, maybe some writing or, I don't know.
I've got some ideas up my sleeve.
Yeah, we bet you have. Okay, then.
And it's lovely listening to you speaking, so I'm sure other people will really enjoy it as well. You've got a really calming presence.
Yeah, lovely, relaxing.
Okay then.
All right,
bye. Lovely to talk to you. Bye, Brett.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye. Bye.